This is Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a financial statement. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book on accounting. Most boring subject on planet Earth. When you look at this here, so this is a basic line of accounting. You don't have to go to law school and main accounting school. You have income, expense, right? Asset, liability. But this is an income statement. This is a balance sheet, and there's one more statement inside the cash flow game. It's called the statement of cash flow.
Right.
So all that happens here is that, let's say I make $1 million here, so I got 1 million here. I borrow 4 million here.
Right.
So I got 4 million here. It sets up a $5 million asset. Okay, so I'm balanced off with debt. And then it's called appreciation, depreciation, amortization.
Right.
That's how I pay no taxes. And that's what Trump does. That's what I do. That's what real estate guys do. That's what entrepreneurs do. And it's just common sense. It's not that hard to do. So that's why I wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad in 97, and the cash flow game was created in 96, because you had to do this physical with the game. As Montessori said, what the hand does, the mind remembers. So right now, this is just lecture. But if you get into the game, you'll actually have to move the numbers around. The math is tough, it's addition and subtraction. But you got to put it in the right spots.
Right.
And then you're analyzing a deal. Do you know what I mean? And it's that's all I did as a kid. I played Monopoly. Monopoly in real life. But I'm an entrepreneur who creates products that create income. So the cash flow game is produced in 50 languages. The Rich Dad book alone does about $1 million a month.
Wow.
So
still,
that's not Donald Trump money, but I have 8,000 rental units. So what I do is, in the asset column, I save gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
So that's kind of like the stored value that you're using.
Yes, and it goes up and down as markets go up and down. So could Bitcoin go to $10? Possibly. Can silver go to $10? Possibly. But I'm still going to buy more of it.
Right. When it does. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's because I use debt as money.
Yeah.
It's completely opposite thinking.
I get it. It's kind of like the being a dyslexic investor.
But it's, what I always say, a coin has three sides: heads, tails, and the edge. And then I stand on the edge and I look at both sides. So I don't get really upset about, if you want to be a Marxist, that's your choice.
Right.
So back in 96, that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad and all this, is because it's part of my capitalist manifesto. The way you beat communism is via capitalism. They're opposite sides of the coin. I was in Vietnam. I fought communism. It's not pretty. And communists have killed over 120 million people this century. Phase one is coming to an end. Phase two is about to begin. So what they're going for is this thing called utopian society. That was Marxism. So we can all live in peace. There's no classes. There's no production. Everybody shares. Everybody's equal. Like everybody gets a trophy today. Do you know what I mean? Good luck.
Yeah. What brings you the most fulfillment at this point in your life?
That's a great question, because the greatest fulfillment is I meet young people, men and women, and they come up to me and say, "My dad gave me your book years ago, changed my life." So I have more people investing in real estate. They're entrepreneurs. They're more proactive on their education. They're always on YouTube now, because there's a lot of great teachers on YouTube. The battle is inside our academic system. And again, it's a free country. You want to be a communist? That's up to you. I really don't care. I'm a capitalist. I'm a free market capitalist. I do business all over the world. I have millions in gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And I have a private jet. So I can run. I can run.
Well, we did a whole series on that called Endgame already. How to bug out when everything's going bad, and it is pretty scary time. Relative to the things that are going on and what we see happening. But at the same time, a mentor of mine once said, "There's no future in being a pessimist." So you look at things like like Bitcoin or decentralized finance and say that there's a potential future that can overshadow this communist movement.
Well, let me explain why I'm pro Bitcoin. It's not that I'm pro Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like communism.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you? So I'd rather be decentralized or definance, DeFi. I
Right.
think it's a great word, DeFi, I'm defiant.
Yeah.
So I would, I'd rather invest in a capitalist product, which is Bitcoin or gold or silver, because they're DeFi, they're decentralized. Whereas a dollar is centralized, a 401k is centralized. And this, again, all coins have three sides, heads, tails, and the edge. You can choose, but let me show you what's going on today, and I'll do my best to keep it as simple.
Great.
September 17th, this is the Fed, and there's a repo market, and people cannot see this. So the market crashed on September 17, 2019. So what repo does, the Fed sends money, because what happened when this crashed, the commercial banks were out of money. That's like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, HSBC, Goldman Sachs. So everything was fine. So they flooded the market with all this money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's September 17, 2019. So that's why I was going, huh. And then COVID appeared a few months later. So I thought, this is kind of interesting, So what happened on April 2021, it went reverse repo. Okay, so most people don't, I'll keep it really, repo means repurchase, not repossess.
Right.
Repurchase. The money flows back into the Fed. So today, July 2021, the money is flowing out of the central banks as I talk to you, July 2021. Now, what does that mean? That means if these guys stop lending, the economy crashes. So it's not that it will crash, but it's crashing as I'm speaking to you today, because the repo market sent it in from the Fed, and the Fed has another department called reverse repo. And they're sending back the money to the reverse repo section of the bank. So the money is coming out of the system. What does that mean? I don't know, but it could be a crash.
Wow.
The last time that happened was it was in 2008, and that was the subprime market crash. And so I was talking to a real estate agent, and she's pretty young, she's about 30. And she said to me, well, the real estate market always goes up. I said, obviously, you're young.
Indeed.
I said, we'll find out soon.
Thanks so much for being here and watching that video. And can I ask you to please subscribe to our channel so you can find out when we're posting new content. You'll be alerted right away when we do. To share this with people you think might benefit from the information, and certainly it helps us if you like the video. So if you like what you just saw, go ahead and hit that like button. And again, thank you so much for being here with me right now.